us decide how much we can secure for ourselves and how much we're willing to sacrifice like true philosophers. With our words and wisdom. Are you ready, my lord? Continuing from the earlier topic, let us discuss our common enemy, Aglaia. She is the second most experienced Chrysos heir across the whole of Akama, who has gradually lost her humanity to the ravages of time and the ablation of the core flame. A formidable opponent indeed. Admittedly, there is ample reason for her to take your life. Yet your previous reasoning is quite sound. As a seasoned political animal, it's unclear whether she will actually cross that irreversible boundary. Moreover, she still needs you alive so that the Titan's trial can be completed. Is there anyone present who can swear by the sacred vow of Kefali and guarantee that you weren't in league with that woman before coming here? Are you just trying to pull the wool over our eyes and aid her in her savagery?
I believe you're aware of Castorus the Executioner. Long before I returned to Akama, Aglaia had already dispatched her to monitor me. If I weren't able to reach this place in time, I would have been forced to meet Thanatos first. As compared to a comprehensive plan with uncertain results, if you decide to cut open my chest and remove the core flame, wouldn't that settle her nerves even more? Everything is in place. She just needs the right timing.
I understand what you mean. At the very least, the both of us agree that this tyrant who wallows in extravagance and greed is the greatest threat to achieving peace in Akama. The Council of Elders is willing to defend your right to live, just as we defend every oppressed citizen. However, I regret to say that sentiments in favor of the Chrysos heirs and Aglaia are only growing in magnitude. The peace that we are aspiring toward, as well as everything that we hold dear, will be destroyed completely. The city will be burned to ashes, and the citizens' blood will be shed. Tell me, what are you willing to do for our esteemed citizens so that they can vanquish the enemies of our fine city?
Although the circumstances are rather unfortunate from an objective point of view, it is an undeniable fact that ever since the Grove was attacked, I have become the de facto leader of the Grove. The Council of Elders needs more backing if it wishes to topple Aglaia, and it's evident that the Academy wields considerable influence. At the very least, I have served as the Grove's special envoy to Akama for a significant amount of time. Of course, this also means that I will hold a crucial vote at the Citizens' Assembly.
In the name of Kefali, Akama thanks you for your sincere and valuable thoughts. At this stage, it's clear that you and I understand the benefits to be won from this discussion. Let me put it plainly. The Council of Elders has always been renowned for its fairness, and that fairness is built on a foundation of sincerity. The Council of Elders has vowed to all citizens of Akaba that it will always remain loyal to them. As for you, my lord, how will you guarantee that you will be able to live up to such earnestness and will not betray Akama's indomitable citizens when the opportunity presents itself? Just as you now betray Aglaia when it suits you.
Surely you jest. My loyalty does not need to be proven. The fact that the Council of Elders is asking for proof of my loyalty is itself akin to a form of betrayal.
I am incredibly honored to have witnessed the both of you bury the hatchet in a civilized manner. However, I am afraid that I must interrupt for a brief moment. As the Theoros, I have observed the following. Lady Aglaya, the Goldweaver, is currently on her way to Dawncloud.
Oh. Well, I do believe that we might have a slight overabundance of guests today.
Feeling dissatisfied, Lady Kindness? Despite the Council of Elders' lofty residence on Dawncloud, it must still tolerate the whims of the Chrysos heirs.
So you were holding back just now. Seems like you are better at playing this game than I. In any case, I'm glad that she's arriving here. So tell me, Anaxagoras, now that you're an ally of mine, if Aglaya were to demand that I hand you over, what should I do?
You can do as she says. Tell her that the Council of Elders merely wished to chat with me and had no intention of offending her. However, by doing so, the authority of the Council of Elders will be as thin as papyrus that has been soaked in blood. Not only can it be destroyed at the slightest touch, but the Council will also lose possession of a valuable core flame. No, more like 2 core flames. After all, at the next Citizens' Assembly, that young lady who is synonymous with death will also be standing on our side.
Oh? How can you be sure of that?
Is that of importance to you? All you need to know is that I have a plan. In my opinion, you should be more worried about the impending threat. If Aglaya can seize me in full view of the masses today, she could also dismiss the entire Council of Elders in one fell swoop tomorrow. If that happens, the discussion that we've just had will turn into an utter joke instead. Is this the outcome that you wish to see, Lady Kindness?
Fine. I will handle this matter appropriately. But you do best to remember this. Fool the people and karma will be on your tail. I'll overlook it this time, but don't count on there being a next time. Unless, of course, you crave cruel punishment and consider suffering the perfect state to ponder the true nature of souls.
Well, what do you know? That happens to be one of my rare talents.
We shall see then.
I've got to say that you've managed to really impress me again. But shouldn't you be going after more?
Dying to know what I'm after, hmm?
I mean, I'm the reason Titan after all. It is in me to ask and seek answers.
Easy there. You'll learn the answer soon enough. I didn't bring it up with her purely because she doesn't have the means to give me what I truly want. It's as they say, onlookers see most clearly. The true masters of Dawncloud have always been the Theoros, who watches over everything.
An expected visitor. Welcome once again. You know, you could actually skip all the pointless debate and come straight to me to seek an audience with Kefali. I have no reason to refuse you, do I?
You may not, but kindness has. Whoever gets hold of Kefali's core flame will get to rule over Akama. She's wary of me, so naturally I had to gain her trust. I would say that debate was not at all pointless.
Very true.
In my view, this individual has gone to great lengths to get close to Kefali. He might very well be plotting something nefarious against the Titan. Are you still willing to let him pass, knowing this?
Yes, very much so. All living creations are always free to visit Kefali's transcendent vessel. This comes with being the World-Bearer.
How convenient it is to be able to hear what they say.
It is truly my honor to speak to a venerated Titan in person. Please, go ahead. Let me join you both on this journey. Oh, a bygone myth tells of an occasion where Kefali once answered their followers' questions on the peak of the Holy Mountain. Their followers have since believed that scaling this Titan cliff is one way of being with the god.
Hear that? It's not every day that you get to climb a mountain with Circes. You should sing me a hymn of praise.
Titan hymns are beyond me.
Go on ahead. Take this Yanis shortcut, and the long pilgrimage stairway will be waiting for you at its end.
I have to admit, I never expected you to not ask me anything. Not even my motive.
Because I know very well what it is you are after. As the saying goes, a gentleman helps others achieve their goals. I have a feeling that your theory will be validated at the end of this journey. I believe Kefali will not deprive you of your right to ask your question, especially now that you're on the brink of death. You must be closer to Kefali than anyone else. Wouldn't you agree?
I hope things go as you say, then.
Putting a child of justice into a farcical world is bound to turn it upside down. It is my hope that you bring a much-needed change to this world which is on the brink of destruction.
Go melt it down. Honestly, this is my first time going up to Dawn Cloud's peak.
What a splendid view. Isn't it about time you recognize the magnificence of us Titans?
Well, I don't see how this place is different from those temples in the city. All they have are magnificent facades. And even though I've come this far, I'm still doubtful about getting useful clues from him.
I must be getting ahead of myself to be expecting to hear something nice from you.
Oh? Haven't you been in my head for some time now? It's high time you get used to how I feel about things. All right, we're just a short hike away from Kefali. No time to waste here.
So the intellectual debate from earlier was too draining for you, huh? If Amphorius gets a new lease on life, you should focus on strengthening your body and stop shirking social interactions.
Save your concern.
The Titan is in sight. Can you make it?
Why? Are you going to carry me up if I were to fall now? I know how far I can go, so just hold your tongue and come along.
Fine then. I guess I won't say any more. I'll just wait till your soul dissipates completely to gain control over your body.
Wait. Who is that? Cersei's? Hey, look at that.
Huh? What should I be looking at?
Am I hallucinating? Or do we even get to see souls when we're close to dying?
Oh? Why didn't you bring your favorite spear with you on this trip, Nias?
Ah, yes. I know I've heard this name somewhere.
It's unfortunate. The Black Tide destroyed every last inch of my calyx.
How could that be? Even a creation of Georios, from their prized ores and molten fire, couldn't escape the fate of destruction?
Hey, Cersei's. Do you know a certain Nias?
Nias? No, not that I remember. How did you even think up such a strange name?
I just saw him. Nias. A warrior-like figure who was just chatting with you here.
No, I have no such memory. Could you be hallucinating?
This is a departed spirit? suppose I can just ignore this. You two again.
Enough about me. Did Kaos ever reply to you?
Well, regrettably.
Seems like the price of becoming a demigod is a lot heftier than we thought.
Kaos. Demigod. I've never heard of this person. Which Titan's authority did he inherit?
Look on the bright side, Nias. Since we've come all this way, I doubt he'd snub his old friends, would he?
Let's just hope we mean as much as the world to him.
Hey! Are you seeing that same hallucination again?
Yes. It's still you and Nias, but you're now talking about a certain Kaos. I'm guessing he's one of your companions?
Kaos? This name sounds just as strange to me.
Never mind. I think I know what this is about. If things are as I thought, then they aren't hallucinations, but the souls of people.
What? But if those are the souls of the dead, then what am I?
Beats me. For all I know, you're just an illusion I conjured up in my dying moments. Let's just keep going. As long as I take in more sights and hear more stories.
Know your limits. Wander too far among the dead, and even I might not be able to save you.
I'm fine. If this is indeed as I thought, then this will be very amusing. We meet again.
Can you keep going?
Of course. I'm just... If I knew we had to climb a mountain, I wouldn't have come along with you.
I guess this also counts as one aspect of the world-bearing burden. If Amphorius does have a next life, you may want to get your body in shape.
Keep your sarcasm to yourself.
I'm not getting anything of value from them.
I would sooner throw myself off this cliff and hit rock bottom than exercise even a little. I am Calypso of the eminent Seven Sages, after all. Training would make me no different from those Helcalithist barbarians.
Calypso. She's one of the Seven Sages. A member of the Grove? No, she can't be. I would know her name if she really were one of the Seven Sages. Hey, Circes. Does the name Calypso ring a bell? Circes? They're gone. Doesn't matter. I can do this myself. Looks like I'm nearly there now. The land of the dead.
Oh, beautiful old world. Where are you now? Oh, legendary era Chrysia, return to the mortal realm. Splendid gods once walked the paths we walk. Alas, all that's left of that warmth is a hazy mirage.
Why are you chanting that too? We're here, finally. So, I don't get to ask the Titan my question, but all of you make for a pleasant surprise, nonetheless. Very well then, let me uncover the truth for myself. Did I still fail to make it in time? Huh? So, I'm back here again. This is... I can hear it. I hear it from the depths of the tides, behind the closed doors of the void world. A voice ready to tell me something. This time, the voice is a lot clearer than before.
Since we've come this far, let's just wait.
Lord Nias and Miss Calypso, are you both here to visit Chaos too?
Yes, and we've been waiting for quite some time now.
Regrettably, he hasn't answered us. The worst-case scenario is that he's already been overwhelmed and crushed by the world-bearing burden.
You're overthinking, Lord Nias. I can still sense Chaos' soul in the area. And besides, we both know Chaos' nature. A deliverer like him wouldn't fall so readily, much less give up on all that he holds dear. Isn't that so?
Yes. I have faith in him.
That reminds me. Why are you making this trip alone, Polixia?
Oh, my sister needs more time to make sure the flowers are fine.
Such a pity. Both of you have hearts kinder than anyone else. Yet you are born only to take over Thanatos' divinity.
Everything that I see and hear this time has left me shaken to the core. What may seem like a mundane conversation is in truth a once-in-a-lifetime exchange that has revealed the ultimate answer to Cersei's question. The conjecture has taken shape and must now be solidified into a theorem. Next, I only need to seek verification from Kefali. By doing so, I can answer Cersei's question and reclaim my body. But no, I will not do that. That isn't important. Because another one of my conjectures, one that I have always dreamed of proving, has been proved right this very instant. Fusing a mortal soul with that of a Titan to replace said Titan is not a ludicrous idea after all.
What are you thinking about? Is that so? You don't look the slightest bit amazed, though. Plus, you seem to be strangely familiar with the city around the Great Tree. Events of the past, huh? I was also a child when I looked up at Cersei's. Their leaves and branches reflected the sparkling stars, and their trunk was like a pillar that supported the sky and ground. I stood at this very spot back then, imagining the day when I could climb to the top of this tree, because I would be the closest I can be to the sky at that spot. Don't read too much into it. I mean, can mortals even hope to reach Aquila's realm? They're a strict and draconian god. Nothing like Cersei's. Reason is willing to share what is theirs with others, but Sky only expects people to revere them. You get what I'm saying, right, Denny? After all, the Titan that imprisoned you and Grey here in Amphorius is none other than Aquila themselves. But there will always be people who dream of soaring towards the sky. The Grove has a wealth of research on Aquila, and that is exactly what we are here for. It's just, I never thought Grey would meet with something like that before we set off. As a physician, I should have been there by his side. Yeah, there's no rest for the weary, huh? In any case, what we're looking for could be anywhere in this enormous grove. Let's split up to cover more ground. Danny, with your skills, I'm sure those monsters born of the Black Tide will pose no threat to you anyway. Have you forgotten that you're talking to the chief physician of the Twilight Courtyard? Have more faith in me. I'll be just fine. Really now? This is way more trouble than I could have asked for. Or you could sit back and watch. I'm kidding, Danny. Lend me a hand, pretty please. All right.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
That won't stop. How's this taste? My friends? Indulge yourselves!
On the still waters of oblivion, I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
The Black Tide is remarkably quick to detect the light of Amphorius. So or rather, the blessings of the Sky Priest in me, might have unknowingly... Anyway, never mind that for now. Here, you might want to have a look at this. I found it around here and thought it might be of interest to you. This is new. I didn't know Professor Anaxa was researching the sky. He's never mentioned anything about it. Might is an understatement. Anaxa has never been one to venerate the gods, nor has he ever found it within himself to put any faith in the prophecy. People have come to think of him as a heretic, even in a place as liberal as the Grove. Yet, it is also this very blasphemer that Circe's favors. Fate sure works in mysterious ways. Oh, let me have a look. By the looks of them, these scrolls are records of two conversations that took place in the same setting, one after the other. Sure, go ahead. The Grove of Epiphany is home to 7 schools of thought. While all 7 schools are founded on the ideologies of Thalesis, the first scholar, each is unique in its own way. Among them, the Venerationists revere and worship the Titans the most. As the sage of the Venerationists, Euthyphro has always been at loggerheads with Anaxa. If we were to place the 7 sages on the scales of Talanton, Anaxa and Euthyphro would be placed on opposite sides to achieve balance. Nearly everyone in Amphorius has heard the story of the skyships by now. Aquila's stature is loftier than the heavens, and their divine retribution is merciless. That's why it's no use building giant skyfaring ships. Oh, but I do wonder if a supercharged mini Treaty cannon could slip past their watch. Newsporists primarily study the application of alchemy in soul repair. Everyone considers Anaxa a blasphemer, but that has never stopped him from sharing his ideas, no matter how taboo. If you must say that he's hiding something, then it's likely what lies beneath his eye patch. Anaxa often says that every failure brings us one step closer to the truth. Perhaps, to him, the crash of the skyship carries a different interpretation. The firmament is not impenetrable. On the contrary, it was precisely because the skyship represented the first step toward breaking free from the shackles of the earth that it provoked the wrath of the Sky Titan and brought divine punishment upon itself. It's a shame that the majority of the Grove's research on Aquila was headed by the Venerationists, with sacrificial rituals making up a predominant part of their findings. Discourse about more esoteric subject matters in relation to Aquila dwindled even further after the skyship incident. So much so that even this scroll is completely new to me. That's what I'd like to know. What are these experiments he's involved in? Even I, the assistant lecturer, know next to nothing about them. I have a bad feeling about this. Could there be more to what happened at the Grove?
Stream forth, gleam bold winds.
the Library of Philia, a place where the Grove stores its collection of tomes. Other than books written by the 7 schools, you can also find philosophical texts, ballads, and religious writings from the Outlands here. Cities that desire to learn from the Grove were apparently expected to contribute knowledge of equal value to what they sought. We've had more than our fair share of hilarious episodes over the years. For instance, it's said that the Erythrocheramists once borrowed a manuscript from a certain author, but ended up returning a copy instead of the original. What's more, the original manuscript was supposedly then hidden here. Nice? No need to hold yourself back, Danny. You can just tell it like it is. Their behavior was no different from bandits. Whew. You've got me there. Some said you couldn't even find a dictionary in Castrum Kremnos, so I guess they were spared. There are too many books in the Library of Philia. Flipping through them all will take too long. Why don't we use the Biblioslate to search for the texts we need? We can bring them back to Akama for reading after that. Ugh, it's so dusty in here. Whoa. Are these all complaints about him? I can already see what they must have written. Anaxa has no respect for the gods. His very existence undermines order in our society. They're probably all things like that. Why else would they call him the Great Performer? When Anaxer established his school of thought, the first thing he apparently did was read his own work to everyone. Are the Titans truly an accurate reflection of what humans think gods should be? Worlds created by gods are indubitably perfect, but what of Amphorius? Only foolishness and insensitivity everywhere you turn. They marched him straight to the seat of judgment before he could finish. Though what he took on in the end was more of a debate than an actual trial. He had to address every one of the scholar's allegations, or face expulsion from the Grove. The first allegation was... Do you agree that since the Titans created the heavens and earth, so the mountains, rivers, and seas must likewise be their creations? Anaxa would have probably been spared a lot of trouble if he had answered this way. Instead, he quoted past instances of the Flame Chase journey and posited that humans had the potential to take over the divinity of Titans. Needless to say, his critics didn't take kindly to his answer, so they followed up with a second allegation. You claim to be studying souls, yet you are, in fact, defiling defiling them and committing acts condemned by the gods. Do you admit it? Anaxa always wears an eye patch, never removing it, even when alone. Some say he used one of his eyes as an alchemical ingredient. Every being in the world owes their safekeeping to Kifili, and this is even more so for the Chrysos heirs who have divine blood coursing through them. If he has really done something of that nature, then it'd indeed be sacrilegious. Thankfully, they had no way to prove it, so it amounted to nothing more than an allegation in the end. One by one, Anaxa engaged in wars of words against those who would challenge him. Toward the end, a scholar asked him, "Anaxagoras, have you any respect for the gods?" It was only after a brief silence that he answered, "I have never denied that titans are meant to be noble constructs." Yes, I'm not sure how that controversy was eventually resolved, but what's for certain at least is that Anaxa was allowed to stay in the grove where he continued his research, despite being regarded as a heretic. By the way, this stack of complaint letters has reminded me of a place in the grove. We may find clues there that aren't on the teleslate. I'm talking about Anaxa's alchemy lab, hidden between the cornerstones. It's a well-kept secret. Among the 7 sages, excluding the nominal chief sage, each has a private sanctuary where they can conduct research undisturbed in their free time. Even the administrators of the Library of Philia are restricted from accessing those places and documenting the sage's research. But with the grove in this state, I'm sure Anaxa won't be mad even if we sneak into the lab for a short while, right?